Hello everybody, Arturo Johnson here, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you something that we call mental models, and I want to take a look at your pipeline. And in this video, if you stay to the end, I'm going to show you step by step how to troubleshoot your pipeline to make sure that if you have any clogs that you can fix this, you can diagnose it, isolate it, and solve this problem very quickly by using these methods that I'm going to teach you in this video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. So in today's video, I just want to kind of share a story with you all. So a lot of times as agents in this business, what we focus on the whole time is just generate leads. You know, leads are the lifeblood of the business. And every day we're just beat over the head with, you know, you need to just get more leads. You need to follow up with these leads. You need to call these leads. And a lot of times that is true, but more than likely, if you're getting a lot of leads and you're not writing a lot of business, then somewhere in between there, you have a blockage in your pipeline. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how to diagnose this problem and how to solve it, and how most of my clients are able to solve this problem with ease. So let's go ahead and take a look at my screen here. And so here is what I like to call a mental model. And this is your pipeline. So we have, you know, water coming through, and this is going to be lead generation. And then we have the lead qualification process, which is a part of that. And then there's a sales opportunity where you're able to do a fact finder and then find out what the client's problems are and solve them in the most simple and easiest, most efficient way possible. And then there's the deal closure, right? Getting people to pull out their credit card and take action. And so that's what I really want to go through today. And then this is going to be what comes out the other end, right? So the more we put in the top of this, in this pipeline, the more drips that we're going to get out on the back end. And so when we think about it, the number one thing that most agents use to fill their pipeline is what? Cold calling, right? So we buy a ton of leads, and then we dial them, right? And we get them from different lead sources, lead vendors, right? Referrals, all of these things, but it's all cold. And the challenge with this is that, one, they don't know you specifically because they responded to something that doesn't really delineate who you are, right? It's either from the company where they got on the website and filled out something, or some vendor put out this broad ad about winning a gift card or a raffle or something, and people just enter their information just to say, yeah, sure, go ahead and enter my information, and then leave vendors sell those things to you, right? So that's not personalized, and they don't know who you are. And then the second one is networking, right? So we go to these, we join BNI networking groups, Rotary clubs, you know, we join these boards to be able to, Chamber of Commerce, right? We join these boards to get our name out there. But what's the problem with this, right? Every single time you go to one of these events, there's at least 3 or 4, maybe even 10 agents just like you doing the same thing. And this is kind of like speed dating, right? So when you get there, there's not really a bunch of people there adding value, right? Everybody's just taking business cards so that they can call them the next day. And I've done this so many times, and it's never really generated anything. I remember I got 54 cards going to a business seminar for Mount Zion, and I was so excited, and not one of those opportunities turned into a client. And the last one is referrals. Now, referrals is the lifeblood of the business, right? That's what we've been told. And generally, these are going to be the most teed up and the easiest way for you to generate some business is when you leverage either your relationship or the relationship of someone else that you know that you come highly recommended, that you can get a client. Well, what's the challenge with that? One, right, it's not predictable. So you can ask for 100 referrals this month and get 20, and then you can ask for 100 next month and you can get 80. And it's not repeatable, right? So you could ask the same person who gave you 20 referrals, you know, this month. You can ask them again next month, but they won't be able to give you 20 more quality names the way they did, because we only know so many people and we only have so many quality people in our friends group. And so the challenge with this is if you rely on referrals, it's a third party system that if this person doesn't tee you up, if they don't get back to you, or if they don't give you the proper information, as well as if they don't give the person that they're referring you to the proper information, then this poses a challenge, which really means that you don't have control over your business, because if the lifeblood of the business is leads, and someone else has control over that and you don't, then you really don't have a business. And this is where your blockage is, right? Because the cold calling method is a low rate of close, right? Sometimes you call 200 in a day and you might connect with 10 and 2 people might say yes. Well, you spent 6 to 8 hours doing this all day long for 2 appointments or networking, right? And I've told you the story about this where you probably did get a bunch of people who pick up the phone, but the likelihood of you doing business with them is pretty low, right? Or if it does work, that's over a 6 to 12 month period where you're building a relationship, and that's not going to really put food on the table today. And then the third one is the referrals, right? You don't have control over your business, and so your pipeline is blocked because you can't really scale this method. And so all of these methods work great, but they break at scale. And so, they aren't reliable, they aren't predictable, and they aren't consistent. And so what's the next phase in the sales? It's the sales conversion. And the next phase is bad appointments, right? So you cold call people who say, yeah, just to get you off the phone, give you some information. And then you get bad appointments from that. You network, you get all of this promise. Yeah, sure. Call me next week. Bad appointments, right? You get referrals. Well, you don't know who you're actually getting. And you hop on the phone with them. And guess what? You're doing calls with people who've been laid off. Oh, I thought this was a job opportunity, right? Bad appointments. And what does all of this do? Well, it's a lot of waste of time, right? And so we want to try to fix that. And that really hurts your conversions, but also no shows, right? So when you cold calling people, they're not taking you serious. They're like, yeah, sure, whatever, just to get you off of the phone, right? Networking, yeah, sure, call me, right? Referrals, yeah, sure, Greg said you were great, sure, call me. And then you're talking on the phone with people at the grocery store, checking out a Kroger's, or they just don't answer, right? They only took that first initial call with no intention on taking the second one just to get you off the phone. And this hurts your sales conversion opportunity, right? And this problem that you have, the reason why this doesn't work is because people are not informed specifically about what it is that you can do to help them, right? WIIFM, right? What's in it for me? And number 2, they aren't aware of exactly who you are, right? So they're unfamiliar with you. And whenever someone is unfamiliar, unsure, there's this high level of skepticism and this high barrier for cynicism, right? Where they don't really believe you, they don't trust you. And so when someone's not aware of you, if they just hearing about you for the first time, that's always the case with anything. People don't like change and they don't like to try new things. And then the third reason why this is tough on your pipeline and why this could hurt your sales opportunities to convert clients is they're not qualified, right? People don't know who you are. They aren't informed. they're unqualified, right? You don't know anything about them from these methods. They aren't qualified. So if you do get them on the phone, you're spending a ton of time teaching and educating, and that really hurts your sales conversion. And so here are some of the ways to be able to manage this and leverage these methods in order to grow your business and not have to do those things and worry about those things anymore. And that's leveraging AI, right? So my clients, like Greg Jones, I'm sure you've seen that, but he just emailed me a couple of days ago. This guy has a unique story, right? He started in the business, being a life insurance agent with FFL back in March at the height of COVID. And this was the first time he had ever tried to sell life insurance over the phone. And he joined our program. And within the first 3 weeks, he wrote $9,000 of premium. And the way we were able to do that is because we didn't cold call, we didn't network or use referrals, right? And he wasn't getting bad appointments and he wasn't getting a lot of no-shows, right? Some no-shows you're going to get because that it just happens, right? It's part of the business. But when we leveraged AI, we were able to cut those things out, and we were able to exponentially reach about 2,000 to 4,000 people per day without ever picking up the phone. And so what this did was this gave us qualified appointments, right? Because with this system, he was able to generate enough leads that at the same time, qualified appointments would book themselves. So he is not calling anybody, right? If you watch his video, he smiles when it's his time to pick up the phone. Have you ever done that? Right? Have you ever been in a situation where you're excited to get to the desk, right? Because I know for me, every Monday, I dreaded getting to the office, having to look into my CRM and see that there was hundreds of people that I just called on Friday. And now I got to pick up the phone to call them again. And when you have this process in place that that reaches out to connect and engage with prospects using automation, right? You get more qualified appointments, right? You just think about it. It's the law of large numbers end up taking effect. If you reach 4,000 people and you only got 1% of those, how many do you think that is, right? Then that's just one day. And imagine if, you reach 10,000. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. This is the new age way to run your life insurance business. And so what else does this lead into? This leads into you being more efficient to where now in our program, I teach you how to do one call close, right? And not just the method that I use, we give you the exact template that Greg Jones uses, right? Where he's writing 12K per month, just had a $6,000 weekend, just send me an email about it. He goes in detail, step by step in this program on exactly how to do that. And so what does this do? This helps remove that blockage that's keeping you from making deals. And so what we call this is the flow through, right? So when you have automation, right, and you're getting qualified appointments and you're doing one call close, this opens the floodgates for your business. And this is what we call the flow through, right? And when you do all three of these things and you have them all together, this is when you have a rinse and repeat predictable process to take a stranger to a paying client in one single phone call. So if you're a life insurance agent and this video resonated with you and you're sick of cold calling, networking, relying on referrals, getting bad appointments and getting no-shows, and you're tired of having lead vendors promise you the world and can't deliver on those things, and quite frankly, you're just sick of wasting time and money, go ahead and click the link below. I have a free PDF. It's a 6-step guide to getting your first free client online. And you can go ahead and download that and go ahead and start generating your own appointments, right? And that's what we really want to do. Is the reason for these videos is to empower agents to take back that time freedom and that financial freedom and really just get in the driver's seat and have control of your business. Because if you don't know how much it costs to acquire a customer, then you don't have a business. So again, I hope this was helpful. Again, go ahead and click the like button if you enjoyed this video, as well as subscribe to my YouTube channel. I try to do 3 to 5 new videos like this every single week of high quality content around business, mindset, and entrepreneurship. So go ahead and click the like button, as well as take advantage of that brand new free PDF that I just finished. I'm so excited about it, and I'll talk to you soon.